The moment the power went out, the entire library fell into darkness. Outside, rain hammered against the windows, while those things stood motionless in the fog, watching us. The girl grabbed my arm. "We have to leave, right now." We rushed downstairs as the front doors bent inward from another violent impact. Boom! Wood splintered. Something was forcing its way inside. We escaped through a basement exit into the alley behind the library. The rain was colder now, almost freezing. "What are those things?" I asked while we ran. "I don't know," she said breathlessly, "but they came after the lights." We ducked behind an abandoned truck. The town looked dead. Streetlights flickered weakly through the fog while papers blew across empty roads. Then she looked at me carefully. "You're different." "What? You're still here?" I frowned. "What's that supposed to mean?" Her face tightened. Everyone who looked at the lights disappeared. A cold feeling moved through my chest. "What lights?" "You seriously don't remember?" Then it came back, last night. The whole town had gathered outside after strange glowing objects appeared over the forest beyond town. Social media exploded. People were live streaming, recording, laughing. It felt exciting at first, like some once-in-a-lifetime event. Even Sheriff Collins was out there telling people to stay calm. The sky glowed blue above the trees, and everyone kept staring upward. Everyone except me, because right before it happened, I left. I remembered it clearly now. Tyler had called me earlier that night asking me to come see the lights with everyone else, but I never made it. I had driven out to Miller's farm after getting a call from my grandfather. He lived outside town alone, said his power went out and needed help fixing the generator. I remember being annoyed about it. If I hadn't gone, I would have been there with everyone else, watching the sky. The girl stared at me. "You weren't in town when it happened." I slowly shook my head. "No." Her expression darkened. "That's why you survived." Thunder rolled across the sky. Then suddenly, a voice echoed from somewhere nearby. "Help!" We both froze. A man stumbled from a nearby gas station covered in blood. "Please!" he shouted. "Help me!" The girl grabbed my arm hard. "Don't!" "What?" "It's a trap!" The man kept screaming. Then his body suddenly stopped moving, completely still, too still, slowly. His head turned toward us, and his mouth stretched into something unnatural. Not human. Then the creatures emerged behind him. We ran. The streets became chaos. Those things moved through the fog silently, appearing from nowhere. Sometimes they looked human from a distance, until they got close. We hid inside an abandoned diner near the edge of town. That's where the girl finally told me everything. Her name was Lena, and she had seen what happened. "When the lights appeared," she whispered, everyone started staring at them like they were hypnotized. She looked shaken, even remembering it. The crowd had stopped talking, stopped moving. They just stood there looking up. Then her voice cracked. "And one by one, they disappeared." I stared at her. "Disappeared how?" "They dissolved." A horrible silence filled the room. Lena continued. "It was like their bodies turned into dust and light." I couldn't speak. Then she said something worse. "But not everyone vanished completely." A chill ran down my spine. "The creatures?" She nodded slowly. "I think those things used to be people." Outside, something scratched slowly against the diner windows. My heart nearly stopped. Lena whispered, "They're connected to the light somehow." Then suddenly, the emergency radio behind the counter crackled to life. Static filled the room. Then a voice came through. "If anyone is alive, stay away from the northern forest." The signal cut, then returned. The lights came from beneath the ground. They opened something. My blood ran cold. The northern forest. That's where the lights first appeared. Then another message came through. We tried to study it. We were wrong. Gunshots echoed faintly through the radio. Screaming, then silence. Lena looked terrified. "We need to leave this town." But before we could move, the diner lights flickered on by themselves. Every light, at once. Outside, all the creatures suddenly stopped moving. The fog became strangely bright, and from somewhere beyond the town, a massive blue light began rising into the sky again. Lena's voice shook. "It's happening again." Then we heard it, a low humming sound vibrating through the streets, the same sound from the night everyone disappeared. The windows started shaking. Outside, every creature slowly turned toward the northern forest, like they were being called, and in the reflection of the diner glass, I saw something standing directly behind us, not one of the creatures, something taller, something worse. Its glowing eyes opened in the darkness, and then it spoke. "You were never supposed to survive." The creature stepped closer from the darkness behind us, tall, impossible to fully look at. Its body shifted strangely, like smoke trying to hold a human shape. Those glowing eyes locked onto mine, and when it spoke again, the diner windows trembled. "You were never supposed to survive." Lena grabbed my arm tightly, but I couldn't move. Something about its voice felt wrong, not loud, but heavy, like it was speaking directly inside my head. Outside, the blue light above the northern forest grew brighter, spreading across the sky like a second sunrise. Every creature in the street stood perfectly still, facing the light, waiting. The thing in front of us tilted its head. "When the gate opened," it said, "your town was chosen." My throat tightened. "Chosen for what?" It smiled. "To become empty. The plan is to turn the town into a portal connecting our world to Earth. The blue lights is meant to hypnotize people and used them to power the gateway. Some humans disappeared, while others became controlled creatures. Then the portal would be fully opened, allowing us to spread across Earth. Humanity would be controlled, transformed, or wiped out as more towns became gateways." Suddenly, the diner lights exploded. Glass shattered around us. The creature lunged forward, and the emergency radio burst loudly back to life. A different voice came through this time, old, weak, but human. "If anyone is still alive, listen carefully." The creature froze instantly. The voice continued through heavy static. "The signal tower beneath Blackwood Hill controls the frequency. Shut it down before the transition completes." Then the radio died. The creature let out a horrifying scream. Outside, every figure in town suddenly turned toward the northern forest again. Then they started moving, fast. Lena looked at me with fear in her eyes. "Blackwood Hill," she whispered. I nodded. "That's where this started." We ran out the back of the diner while the town erupted into chaos behind us. The fog glowed blue beneath the night sky, and the humming sound grew louder with every step. As we drove toward the forest in an abandoned truck, memories slowly returned to me. Years ago, Blackwood Hill used to be an old military research station buried underground. The town always treated it like a rumor. Most people thought it had been abandoned decades earlier, but recently, strange trucks had been arriving there at night, people disappearing for days, power outages, animals acting strangely near the forest. And then came the lights. The deeper we drove into the woods, the quieter everything became. No insects, no wind, nothing. Then we saw it. Hidden between the trees stood a massive metal tower glowing deep blue beneath the earth itself. Thick cables disappeared underground, while strange symbols flashed across giant screens nearby. Bodies stood motionless around the tower, hundreds of them, the missing townspeople. Their eyes glowed faintly blue as they stared upward in silence. My chest tightened when I saw Tyler among them, and my mother, alive, but trapped somehow. Lena whispered, "They're still here." Then suddenly, speakers mounted around the tower activated. A voice echoed through the forest. Dimensional synchronization at 97%. The ground shook violently. Above us, the sky began tearing open again. That giant crack of blue light returned across the clouds. And this time, something enormous moved behind it. The same presence, watching, waiting to enter completely. I finally understood. The creatures weren't invading. The tower was pulling them here. The town had become a doorway. Then I noticed something else. A control panel near the center of the platform, flashing red. Emergency shutdown. I ran toward it. Instantly, the creatures in the forest screamed. The tall being appeared again between the trees. Faster this time, angrier. "You cannot stop what has begun." The earth shook beneath us as the thing charged forward. Lena grabbed a metal pipe and slammed it into one of the glowing machines. Sparks exploded everywhere. The humming sound suddenly weakened. The townspeople twitched slightly. Their eyes flickered. The creature screamed louder. I reached the control panel. A message flashed across the screen. "Warning, shutdown may collapse dimensional bridge. Severe energy backlash expected." I hesitated. If this failed, everyone could die. Then I looked at the people standing around the tower. Families, friends, my town, still trapped somewhere inside whatever this was. Lena looked at me. "Do it." The creature lunged from the darkness, and I hit the shutdown switch. The sound that followed felt like the sky itself tearing apart. The tower overloaded violently, sending waves of blue energy through the forest. The crack in the sky began collapsing inward, while the giant shape beyond it roared in fury. The creatures disintegrated instantly into ash and light. One by one, the townspeople collapsed to the ground unconscious. The light became blinding. The air shook. Then suddenly, silence, complete silence. By shutting down the tower, the invasion by the creature was stopped and everyone was brought back before the transformation became permanent. The tower was gone. The fog had disappeared. All around us, people were waking up confused and terrified. My mother looked around weakly. Tyler sat nearby, coughing. Nobody understood what had happened. Only Lena and I remembered everything clearly. Authorities arrived days later, but they never found any trace of the underground facility. Official reports blamed a chemical leak and mass hallucination. Most people accepted the explanation, but deep down, I knew the truth. Because some nights, when the town becomes quiet enough, I still hear that humming sound coming from the forest. Soft, distant, waiting. And sometimes, just before falling asleep, I remember the last thing that creature said before the portal closed. This was only the first door.